There is a specific feeling you get when you look at your bank account at 3 a.m. The house is quiet, the world is asleep. But there you are, bathed in the blue light of a screen, staring at a number. It is not greed, and it is not fear. It is something much stranger. You are asking that number to tell you who you are. We are told that money is a tool. We are told it is a neutral way to trade value. This is the greatest lie ever told by civilization. Money is not a tool. Money is a filter. And for the last 100 years, it has been warping the light of meaning so severely that we can no longer see what is real. Today, we are going to perform an autopsy on the modern soul. We are going to look at 3 dangerous ideas that explain why the more efficient we become, the less human we feel. In the year 1900, a German sociologist named Georg Simmel wrote a book that predicted exactly how you feel today. It was called The Philosophy of Money. He argued that money does something violent to the human mind. It converts quality into quantity. Think about it. Before money became the absolute god of our lives, the value of a thing was in its story. A loaf of bread was defined by the baker who made it. A wedding ring was defined by the promise it held. But money is the great equalizer, and I mean that in the worst way possible. If a life-saving medicine costs $500 and a designer handbag costs $500, in the eyes of the economy, they are identical. They are equal. One saves a life, the other holds keys. But the market cannot feel the difference. Simmel called this the tragedy of culture. He predicted that as money took over, we would judge everything by how much and nothing by how good. We have become blasé. We look at a forest and see lumber. We look at a person and see a net worth. We look at our own time and see an hourly wage. We are drowning in objects, yet starving for meaning, because when everything has a price, nothing has a soul. So, if Simmel is right, if money flattens the world, why are we so obsessed with it? Why do we brag about working 80 hours a week? Why do we feel guilty when we sit still? It isn't ambition. It's anxiety. Enter Max Weber. In The Protestant Ethic and the Spirit of Capitalism, Weber argued that our obsession with hustle is actually a psychological trap. Centuries ago, people worked to survive. If you had enough food, you stopped working and played music. But today, we work past the point of survival. We work to accumulate numbers we will never spend. Why? Weber called it the iron cage. We have built a system where being busy is the only way we feel safe. We use productivity to numb ourselves. If we stop moving, we might have to face the silence. We might have to ask ourselves if we are actually happy. We are running on a hamster wheel, not because we want to get somewhere, but because we are terrified of what happens if we stop running. But there is a third theory, the darkest one of all, one that suggests we don't actually want to save money. We want to destroy it. The philosopher Georges Bataille wrote a book called The Accursed Share. He looked at biology. He said, look at the sun. The sun gives infinite energy. It doesn't save it. It burns it. Bataille argued that life isn't about accumulation. It's about expenditure. Think about the moments you felt most alive. Was it when you looked at your savings account? Or was it when you spent it? When you took that trip? When you bought that gift? When you wasted a whole night talking to someone you love? The system tells us to hoard, to save for a rainy day, to be efficient robots. But your biology screams for you to be wasteful, to be generous, to be wild. We are depressed because we are trying to be infinite reservoirs in a world that requires flow. We are holding our breath, waiting for a future that never comes, instead of exhaling. So, where does this leave us? Simmel tells us money turns the world gray. Weber tells us we work because we are scared of silence. And Bataille tells us we are biologically wired to burn what we build. The relationship between money and meaning is strange because it is a mirror.
Money is just stored energy. If you hoard it, it becomes stagnant water. If you worship it, it becomes a cage. The next time you look at that number on the screen at 3 a.m., Realize what you are seeing. It is not your value, it is just fuel. Don't let it sit there. Don't let it flatten you. Break the glass and turn the number back into life. Subscribe to our channel, The Antidote.